This is Sydney. You might be watching this because you know me and you're my friend or family, and I told you to watch this, or you came across it from just looking something up on YouTube. But welcome to my page. Um, you probably know I go to Kansas State University. I'm in Alpha Gamma Delta, and usually I'm home for the summer, but this year I decided to stay at K State for the summer to work at a lab and do a research project here. And I'm also taking organic chemistry, so that's a lot of fun. So I'm here for the summer, which means I'm back in the dorms. So that's been a little interesting because I went from living in the dorms my freshman year and then sophomore year, from January to May, I lived in the sorority house because like August to December, I had the brain surgery and stuff. Um, so last week was a little rough. I had a really bad episode, is what they're calling it. I kind of threw up all morning. I just could not stop. So called 911. They came. I was literally wheeled out of the dorms, like on a stretcher. It was really, really bad. There was nothing in my stomach. I hadn't eaten anything yet. It was, I think, 9 a.m. And I just kept throwing up. In the hospital, they did all these scans. I just kept throwing up. It was really bad. I remember, I don't know if I passed out, if I fell asleep because of exhaustion. And my mom came down. I live in KC, so about 2 hours. My mom came down, and then we went from Manhattan almost immediately back to Kansas City. That next day, so this happened on Thursday. The next Friday, me and my friend were supposed to drive up to Kansas City anyways, but I was in Kansas City. One of my friends had flown in from Colorado, so we were just gonna hang out and like tour KC. The weird thing is, when I got home Thursday afternoon, we got back, I want to say around 2, and I just fell asleep until I think like 10 o'clock. And then I woke up at 10 and I was just fine. Like, I was a little dizzy, my eyes were a little blurry. I wasn't really nauseous though. Like, nothing was that bad, you know? So, I mean, Friday we went around KC. We went to like Union Station. We saw like City Park. We took the streetcar around. So it was just a lot of fun to hang out with my friends. We went and got lunch at Lulu's Noodles, I think it's called. So that was pretty fun. I was supposed to go home with them that Friday night, back to Manhattan. I don't really know what home is. But I ended up staying at home in KC, just in case my doctors wanted to meet up or if they wanted to talk to me or something. So I stayed in Kansas City until Sunday, and then Sunday I came back here to the dorms. And I've been okay. I wouldn't describe myself as like great. When people ask like how you doing, I say like, oh, I'm good, how are you? But my eyes are very blurry. It's really hard to read things even right now. It kind of looks like I'm seeing double. um, it's been really hard to write. My OChem is online, so watching those lectures is very, very difficult. Work has been put on pause. I don't know until July like 10th, so that's okay with me. I've just been, trying to do my best. I think the blurriness is causing me to be dizzy, which is causing me not nauseous, but a big headache. And today it caused a lot of nausea. But I was still able to like go to lunch and hang out with my friends. But then I got back and I took a little nap and I woke up from that nap and I threw up. I talked to my doctors, and it's really hard to tell your doctors something and to literally be like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then be like, yeah, we don't know what's wrong with you either. Like, to just be that weird, like, medical mystery. So, sorry, I cry in all of these epilepsy videos. It's hard to, like, think about this because, like, everyone says like, oh, the 20s are like the best year of your life. Like, oh my gosh, like I had the best time at 20. Like, I turned 20 in December, um, so about 6 months ago, and I have so much that I'm looking forward to, like this, like upcoming year, like from now until next, like July. Everything's like, I got trips planned. We have a little road trip that we're gonna do on like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to Saturday, Sunday, down to Wichita, and like then we have vacations planned, and I have recruitment for my sorority coming up in August. I'm so excited for recruitment. I'm the assistant director, and I'm like so pumped about it. Um, but yeah, it's just really rough living with like this like monster. It's almost like part of me is here, but like it's just really hard. And you know, I've always been honest. Um, to this channel, I guess it's a nice way for me to like let my feelings out, but it's been really hard. Like, I know that like God is with me, and like God has given me strength. I've said this before, but like I'm a Christian. I heavily believe in God and heaven and hell, and like God is the one and only Savior, and Jesus died on the cross for our sins, and we can only be saved through Him. Um, if we say it in our like with our mouths and think it in our heart and believe in Him, then we will be saved. So all of that that I'm really just holding on to right now, because I mean everyone's just telling me like, I'm praying for you, I'm praying for you. I've got like my brother is a pastor. I've got his entire church praying for me. I've got my mom's whole like office praying for me. I've got my grandma to get her and all of her 11 siblings and all of their kids and all their kids praying for me. Just everyone I know is praying for me, and like I love that. I love how much love I'm surrounded by, but part of me just feels like I'm letting people down. I'm letting myself down, you know? Like, I have always like thought of myself as like this happy little like ray of sunshine of I can go up to random people and I'll be best friends with them within like 30 minutes, you know? I just love that. I'm an extrovert. I've never like hidden myself. Obviously, like I don't hide anything. I'm an open book. You just have to ask. Um, but I just feel like I'm letting myself down, and it's hard because I feel like I'm letting everyone else down. Like everyone who's praying for me, it's really hard because they'll pray for me and then they'll come back to me that next week and be like, so how are you doing? Are you doing better? Are you doing okay? And I kind of just have to like fake it and say yes, but then I also have to say no. Like, I'm getting better is my phrase. Is I'm not great, but I'm getting better. So it's really hard to like let myself down, because that's hard enough. But to let other people that I love, and even like strangers, to let them like down, to let them be disappointed, that their prayers aren't working, you know? Like, God isn't fulfilling their prayers, but I mean, I know it has a purpose, and it's really hard to hold on to that idea of like, God has a purpose. He knows that like I'm going through this storm. He knows that I'm going to make it through this storm, that I have the strength for this, that He's given me this storm because He knows that I am the one who can get through it. And I truly believe that, but kind of just living in the storm is really hard. And, you know, it's just not something that I want to like hate on, the fact that like I am really mad at God right now, because I know that like God is okay with me being really mad at Him, because He knows that like I'm not mad at God. I'm just kind of mad at life, and being able to blame someone for this happening is God, and it's not good of me, I guess, to use him as my scapegoat, but I do, and I can get mad at God, and he understands that, like, I'm not mad at him in the way that, like, people who don't believe in him are, like, mad at the world, or, like, mad at other people who believe in him. I'm mad at him because why would he, like, put me through this? But then part of me's like, Cindy, you understand why? So it's just hard to hear and hard to go through this. But I make these videos for myself so that I can look back and say that on July 2nd of 2022, it was a really rough moment for me. But then I also want people out there to know, and I don't care if it's one person or 1,000 persons, 1,000 persons who's watching this. I just want this video to be out there, for my own well-being, but also if people need to hear this, just comment, words of prayer. Also, if you have epilepsy, let me know how you're dealing with it. If you want to ask me questions about how I'm dealing with it, you can. I might not always have the right answer, but it's a comforting idea. So yeah, that's really what's going on right now, and it's a lot of tears, but yeah, I mean, this is my update in July. It's gonna be a cut clip, and I don't really know how to do transitions and stuff yet. I'm not really a YouTuber. I wouldn't call myself that at all. I just kind of want to, get my word out and get my emotions out. It's really, really difficult to sit here and do a video after I just sat on the phone with my mom for about 20 minutes, kind of just crying about everything. And then, yeah, I just sent that clip to a few people, and they were like, Cindy, you look so sad, yet you're kind of smiling through the whole video. And part of me is just laughing through the situation because I don't quite believe that it's happening to me. Part of me's like, oh no, like, this isn't your story. Like, your story's different. Like, this can be happening to you, and like laughing about that. And then the other part, you can see my face that I'm absolutely just sobbing. I wouldn't say sobbing, I'd say I'm crying. I sob when I end the video. But I mean, for me, it's, if I'm not smiling, then I'm just gonna start crying. Like, if I lose my smile, like, I just start crying. And once I start crying, I can't stop. It's the, like, heavy breathing. I can't breathe. Like, screaming into my pillow, crying. Like, it's really hard for me to, like, not just smile during these videos. That's why I'm smiling the whole video, is because if I don't smile, then it just becomes me crying, and I can't get my word out then. And I want people to understand what I'm going through. I want people who ask me, Sydney, how are you doing? What are you going through? I can just show them this, and they'll understand, and they can see it. And I want other people to know this, but also I want me to remember. I want me to remember on the date, like, this is how I was. Like, I can go back to each day. There are dates that I've posted certain videos, and I just want to, like, look back and see, like, how was I doing on that day? Like, what was Sydney feeling a year ago? What was Sydney feeling 6 months ago? And it's just a good way for me to just, like, look back on it, like when a parent is videotaping their little kid taking their first steps, or I have the little newspaper cutout that my grandpa has, of my birth announcement in the paper for Mitchell, Nebraska, which I think is the coolest thing ever. But it's a little, like, memoir. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like in Snapchat when you get, like, 3 years ago today, this is what you were doing. I want that for myself, of 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago today. This is, like, what you were feeling. But yeah, most of it is for me, and then some of it is just for other people. if somebody watches this video, if somebody sees this, I want to encourage people. I want to hear from other people. So my smile is encouraging. It's sad. It's just me. So I want you all to know that I don't really care who's watching this. Well, I care who's watching this, but whoever's watching this, you are loved, um, you are appreciated, and I promise something will happen. Something will happen. We'll figure this out together, or, you know, God's got us. I promise.